Yo, what is going on, you guys, boys and girls? Welcome back to another video. Now, in today's video, we have a pretty sick one and a really well requested video. A lot of you guys have been wanting to see this video for some time now, and I was struggling to think of video ideas, so I said, well, I guess I might as well film it now. Now, in today's video, we are going to be feeding every single reptile I own. And maybe the isopods. I'm still kind of deciding, but as of now, we're going to feed every single animal in this room. So yes, that means we will be feeding Gucci over here. We'll be feeding our gnolls that are literally chilling right there. Can y'all see him? Can y'all see him? Yep. We're going to be feeding that guy there. We're going to be feeding our toads. We got leopard geckos to feed. We've got frogs, more frogs, even more frogs. I mean, we've got so many animals that we are going to be feeding. So on today's menu, we've got a boatload of food choices. We got a bunch of crickets, we got some more crickets, and a bunch of worms. So that's going to be our main food choice. Now for our snakes that are all in these enclosures here, our snakes will be getting mice separately. As you can see, Gucci is perked up. She heard the word food, and she is ready to eat. So let's get ready to start feeding all of these animals. So first things first, we're going to be feeding all of our animals that eat crickets, then we'll move on to the next animal that eats a different type of thing, if that makes sense. So first on our list here are going to be our fire-bellied toads. You can kind of see them right there. There's also another one that's probably swimming in the water section somewhere. They're super hard to find because they blend in so well with their setup, but first are our fire-bellied toads. So first things first, we have about 25 small crickets that we're going to be feeding to all of our animals here. So that's first off. Let's just go ahead and dump these into the enclosure. So the crickets are in the enclosure, and one of our fire-bellied toads is just pouncing on them, absolutely demolishing them. Here he goes. Boom! Did y'all see that? He just straight demolished that poor cricket. Our other one is still somewhere in the water here. He'll come out once food arrives. Oh, there he is. There he is. Look, there he goes. So they are just demolishing, as you can see. These guys are ferocious eaters. Let's see if we can get them to eat for us. Boom, they are just jumping around, going to town, absolutely enjoying their crickets, as you can see. So we're going to leave these guys be, close up their enclosure with the plant growing through the lid. I don't really know what's going on there, but the plant is literally growing through the lid. Next up, we have our brown and knoll enclosure. As you can see, they just went flying to the back there. We have two brown and knolls, a male and a female. And then there's a little gecko that I guess just got in here from outside that's been vibing in here. So he eats with them as well. So we're going to dump some small crickets in here. So as you can see, I've just dropped the crickets in. Now this knoll doesn't really eat on camera, but he will come out to eat, I promise you that. Well, that is all of our small crickets. So now we're going to move on to feeding the large crickets. Well, as you can see here, we've got a bunch of large crickets. We're literally going to get a few in this cup, put our calcium powder on top, and then dump them in the enclosure. So next up, as you guys can see, we have our two Amazon milky frogs, a bunch of crickets. We're just going to kind of chunk them in. So all those crickets are literally just going to run up the cage, and those frogs will get them. I promise you that. Look, y'all, they're literally stalking the crickets. They are so adorable, but they are looking right down at all these crickets, waiting for their victims. Holy smokes! He just straight flew off the branch and caught himself a cricket. What a beast! Oh, got him. He just straight snatched that cricket. That cricket is gone forever. So yeah, that is the Amazon milky frogs. These guys are super fun to watch when it comes to feeding, but we're gonna move on to the next animal. Alrighty, y'all, you already know it is time for our girl Gucci over there to get some food. So we're literally gonna dump these crickets into her food dish and let her go to town. There she goes, y'all. Gucci, why are you way back there? Come out here. She's got a leaf hanging out of her mouth, but she sees the crickets. Boom, got him. Just like that. These crickets right here are literally popcorn to her. She's just snacking on them. Just snacking on those crickets. So you guys already know, Gucci is the queen. She gets lots of crickets, as you can see, and of course change up her diet. All these animals in this reptile room here get wide varieties of diet, so they don't just get the same thing over and over again. But there she goes. Gucci is just destroying them. Alrighty, bye Gucci. Enjoy your meal. Let's move on to the next animal. Well, getting started down here, all of our hermit crabs have already been fed, as you can see, so we'll just move upwards. Well, as you can see right there, we have our 2 female Sonoran desert toads. These girls I've had for such a long time, and they are still such ferocious eaters. They have not stopped just eating and eating and eating. So let's get these guys some crickets. Oh, she's trying to get them, y'all. She's trying to get those crickets. They're just so fat, they have a hard time moving around. Uh-oh. Did they both get them? Sometimes they'll even fight over the food. It's actually crazy. Got him. Well, next we have our 2 leopard geckos. Now there's the female there, and then the male is literally in that hide. Hopefully he'll come out when I go to feed him. We're gonna once again drop crickets and let them go to town. There she goes. She is ready to pounce on her prey there, as you can see. Oh, get him. Get him. Oh, there's the male. There's the male. Oh, she got one. Oh, come on. He sees it. He sees it. He sees it. He's staring it in the face. Oh! Oh, God, that poor cricket. Holy smokes. That cricket is gone.
What?
Look at those 2 lovebirds just enjoying a meal. Uh-oh. R.I.P. that poor cricket there. Get him. Boom. Just gone. Just gone. Next up, right there, we've got the most alien-looking creature ever. We have our banded bullfrog. They're also called Asian chubby frogs. His name is Louis Vuitton. He is such a good eater. So we're going to throw some crickets in and see how he does. Oh, boom! Look at that. Did you see that? He literally just made that cricket disappear. Uh-oh. Got him. Just like that. That adorable little face has eaten his food. Well, next, as you can see there, we have our absolutely gorgeous Asian greenback frog. Now, once again, we're just going to throw crickets in there and let them go to town. Now, unfortunately, this guy has not ever ate during the day, so we probably won't be able to see him eat, but I did feed him. As you can see, the crickets are running around right there, so he is good to go. Next up, we have Chubbs, my adult pacman frog, and then, of course, all of our little babies that are in here. We've got tons of pacman frogs that we have to feed, so let's start feeding all these animals. Alright, Chubbs, here's your food going into your home. Next, we've got our baby pacman frogs. Now, I will not be feeding all of them on camera, but I'm going to drop a little cricket for this guy here. Let's just see if he wants it. Got him, just like that. He got the cricket. Well, we've got this little guy right here. He is ready to eat. So let's get this cricket here with the tongs. Just set it right there and let him go to town. Get him, buddy. Got him. Just like that. Look at that. Just devoured that cricket. As you can see, these little pacman frogs aren't afraid to take a meal. Now for the rest of these smaller frogs here, I will literally just give these mealworms. That's what they do really well on. And other than that, let's move on. Next, in this enclosure here, we have our little male cane toad Lucky. All we do is drop about 10 crickets in there, and then overnight he'll kind of come out and munch on them. I'm going to come back over to Gucci. Look at her. She is out a little bit more, trying to eat some of those crickets that are in that dish there. What are you doing, Gucci? I mean, look at the fat she has. She is such a fat toad. Well, now all of the animals that eat crickets have been fed. So now I got a bunch of carrot. We're literally just going to chunk them in these tubs here. I'll film it just a little bit. But we're literally just feeding isopods and springtails, so there's not much to it. We're just going to chunk some pieces of carrots in there. Then we're going to move on to feeding the geckos, the snakes, and the tortoises and turtles. So if y'all thought this was a lot, we've still got more animals to feed. So as you can see, there's still a lot of food in this container left. So we're only going to get like 2 slices here. We're just going to kind of chunk them in the enclosure. Look at how pretty these zebra isopods are. Absolutely gorgeous animals. So once again, get a couple pieces, drop them in the enclosure, and let them go to town. Well, all the isopods have been fed some nice yummy carrots. Now there are some isopods in this enclosure here, so I'm going to get some carrots and just kind of throw them in the enclosure there and let the isopods find them on their own. Well, now that the isopods have been fed, we've got a whole bunch of crested geckos here and here that we gotta feed, so let's go get their food. Alrighty, y'all, so this is what I'm currently feeding my crested geckos. It's literally Pangea watermelon flavor. My geckos actually go crazy for it. Now, we won't need that bag because we've got this bottle here. It's already pre-mixed and ready to go. So now, as you guys can see here, we've got all of our food dishes, and all we're gonna do is just squeeze a little bit of Pangea. They don't really need a huge amount there. We're just going to squeeze just a little dab in each dish, as you can see, and go on continuing throughout the dish. And there we have it. All these dishes are filled up with watermelon Pangea. Now we got to go put them in the enclosure. So first off, as you can see, we have Godzilla and Apollo, our two crested geckos. That's the female and that's the male. These guys have been producing eggs for me for a good amount of time, and this is their dish, so we're just going to stick it right in their ledge here, and then they will absolutely go to town. So next, if you look kind of closely there, and we just kind of peel this plant back, you can see that is Phantom. She is my other female crested gecko. Now she's gotten so much bigger since I first got her, so I'm glad to see her doing well. But we're literally gonna just take her dish, set it down there in her ledge, and she is good to go. Alright y'all, up next, if you look closely in that little coconut hide, right back there, that's Timmy. That is our male crested gecko. Now he actually had to take a trip to the vet because I tried to breed him with Phantom that you guys just saw, and he had some technical difficulties, so he is no longer a breeding male. I simply have him just as a pet now, but I'm going to put his food in his enclosure. So there it goes, all into his rainforest of an enclosure there. We're just going to set it in the ledge right there. Bye Timmy, I'll see you later buddy. Bye. Well, next up, if you look closely there, there's one of my most beautiful crested geckos that I currently own. She is a breeder-ready female. Now, I gotta find her male to breed her with, but look at how gorgeous that gecko is. Now, if y'all have any good name suggestions, maybe I'll have to choose one, so go ahead and drop some name suggestions for her down in the comments. But with all that being said, let's just set her dish right there. She's gonna go and find that tonight and chow down. Now, of course, the only downside to feeding my crested geckos is they're going to eat at night. They're not going to want to come out and eat while I'm here. So, unfortunately, we won't really get to see much action of them eating, but you kind of get the idea. Next, right up there, if y'all look closely, we have a little tiny baby crested gecko. All we do is take this little cap, set it right there, and let him go to town. Now, this gecko I'm actually keeping to raise up, and I actually bred this little dude, but he's a gorgeous little crested gecko, as you can see. But we're going to close his cage up and leave him be. Alrighty y'all, well most of the animals have been fed. Well, except for our snakes. We have not fed the snakes yet, and it is time. I know a lot of you guys like when I feed the snakes and y'all find it really fascinating. So it is time to feed Houdini, Fuego, our rainbow boa, our little random corn snake, and Porg all at once. We're going to feed all 5 of our snakes here, as you can see, so get ready. Now before we get into this feeding, if you do not like to see the feeding of live animals, then I suggest you go now. I'm probably going to get demonetized for this, I don't really know, but if you don't want to see a live animal being fed to another animal, then I would suggest clicking off now or even skip ahead. Now with all of that being said, we've got some very hungry snakes and there's no time to waste, so we are going to start feeding.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Alrighty y'all, first up we have my corn snake Fuego. Now he instantly started smelling the mice as soon as I brought him in, so we gotta be careful to make sure he doesn't try to accidentally bite us over here, but he is ready to eat, as you guys can see. Now here are the feeders that we will be using today. I hate feeding live sometime, but it's honestly better for the snake, and if you want to debate that, go ahead and put it down in the comments, but personally, in my opinion, it is better for the snake. Now we're gonna take one of our live mice here, toss it in the enclosure, and let Fuego go to town. Alright, yeah, we have our mouse here. I'm not squeezing him too tight, and we're just gonna let him go in, let Fuego see him here. Oh god. Oh, he struck at him, but he missed. How did you miss that, Fuego? How? Alrighty y'all, Fuego's going in for the kill. Hopefully I'll make this pretty quick. The mouse is slowly trying to prance away, but Fuego is not having it. As you can see, Fuego is slowly after the mouse, and he's got him cornered. And he's got them. Oh my god, y'all. Fuego has taken the mouse successfully. Oh god, I hate feeding live sometimes, but there you go, guys. He's got the mouse. I'll catch up with you guys here in a little bit. Alrighty, y'all. Fuego is taking the prey, and he is now eating the mouse, as you guys can see, head first, just like they do in the wild. Now, I know a lot of you guys may not agree with this completely, and I understand exactly where you're coming from, but the snake does have to eat, of course. and the live does provide a lot more nutrients than it would frozen. Now just know I don't feed live every single time, and I'm really doing this as an educational purpose so people can kind of get a feel of what it's like to actually see a snake eat, because a lot of people surprisingly don't have any idea of what it's like. And as a matter of fact, it's not as painful or terrible as it might seem. The fuego simply constricted its prey and then proceeded to eat them. That was pretty much it. Well, y'all, we are now moving on to Houdini, my pastel ball python. The same exact thing. We're going to toss the mouse in there and let Houdini kind of go to town. Alrighty, y'all. Well, Houdini is patiently waiting, so we're going to toss the mouse in and let Houdini do his business there. Got him just like that. A quick and easy strike. Now he's got the mouse constricted really well, so the mouse won't have to feel too much of this. He'll be constricted very quickly. But there you guys have it. Houdini has eaten his prey. Well, next up, y'all, as you guys can see, we have our Kenyan Samboa Porg, and it is time for her to feed. She's a really good eater, but she is so adorable, and she is very hungry, so let's give her a snack. So I threw the mouse in the enclosure, and the mouse ran straight into the hide, as you can see. So I'll catch up with you guys if Porg finds the mouse and successfully eats it. Alright, y'all, next up, as you guys can see, we have our Brazilian rainbow boa. Same thing, we're going to kind of dangle the mouse. Now this snake has not actually eaten for me right away, so if he doesn't eat when I'm holding the mouse, I'm going to literally set it on his hide, and then throughout the night he'll come out, find it, and eat it.
6.5 hours later.
Well, unfortunately, the rainbow boa just did not want to eat the mouse. I kept trying, but I don't want to stress him out, so I'm literally going to leave the mouse in there, and I'll check later to see if he ate it. But I promise you guys, one day I will feed that snake, and you guys will see it on camera. Alright, y'all, last but most certainly not least, we have our little corn snake. He thinks he's a tough guy, trying to bite me over here, but he's just a little tiny corn snake, as you guys can see. So we're going to throw in a little mouse for him to munch on. Now this little guy is yet to turn down a meal, and yes, I know these meals are a bit large for him, but he does successfully take them. As you can see, he got it, boom, bit onto it. Oh, and he's just thrashing it about. What a big, strong snake he is. Just thrashing his meal all around. Oh my goodness, what a scary little snake. Now this little dude may be available for sale eventually, but I'm not too sure. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Well, we are coming back to Porg real quick. She is looking a little bit thick around the hips, so that tells me she ate her mouse. But as you can see, she is wanting more. Unfortunately for her, she will not be getting more. But look at Porg, what an adorable little snake. And she's got a little afro of sand, as you guys can see. Hi, Porgy. Now with that being said, all the snakes have eaten, so they are all super happy, and they're probably going to go into their hides and relax after their meal. So now it's time to feed all of our turtles and tortoises. Now I know some of you guys are like, wait, what? There's more? Yeah, there's more, and I have a lot of pets, so I will catch you guys outside when we feed the tortoises and turtles. Alrighty, y'all, we are now outside. We've got our food prepared for our tortoises and our iguana. So the first thing I do quite often is I add this Repti calcium, really good stuff. Then for the iguana, we got some peas and carrots. He absolutely loves peas and carrots. And then their main diet is just a mix of spring mix and collard greens, as you can see there. That is what their diet will consist of, and that's what it consists of most of the time. That's what I feed them primarily. Now there are two tortoises, Xena and Abrams. Obviously Xena is just... What are you doing, Xena? Well, Xena has transformed into a Habba hut, as you guys can see. She's no longer a tortoise. Oh, she's turning back into a tortoise. But no, we got our food here. All we're going to do, we're just going to get a good handful here. We're going to set it right in their dish, spread it out. Now that we've spread it out, we've added some of that calcium powder on the top there. Xena and Abrams are coming over. They are ready to eat. Hi, what are you doing? And they are going to town. Now with the babies, we're going to do the exact same thing. Get a handful of spring mix and then a little bit of calcium powder and let these little guys go to town. And holy smokes, if you guys look closely, it is literally a zombie apocalypse. They just come running to get this salad here. They are just going crazy. Look at these guys just charging at the food here. Alright, y'all, we got the blue iguana's food. Same thing as we did in last week's video. We're going to put the dishes where they go and let them go to town. I don't want to go through it too much because we fed all these guys in last week's video. So I don't want to keep repeating myself. But that's pretty much all we're going to do. We're going to put his food in and close him up. Alrighty, you guys, so as you can see, we're at my Russian tortoise enclosure here. Now, they are all just kind of burrowed and doing their own thing, but I did go ahead and give them some food so they could snack on it, and it's the exact same thing. It's the spring mix in collard greens with some calcium powder on the top for these guys to munch on. Well, now that we've fed all the tortoises and, of course, the iguana, it is time to feed our turtles. Alrighty, so now we've got our tilapia here. Now, I feed my turtles tilapia, pellets, a very mixed diet, honestly. But we've got some pieces for scales and jar jar and all the smaller turtles. Then we've got a piece for our snapping turtle, Gamera. And then, of course, we've got our chunks for our red-eared sliders out in the pond. So let's start feeding all of our turtles. Now, quite honestly, what I do is I literally just throw in the chunks and let the turtles go find them. As you can see, Scales is automatically taking interest in the pieces of fish, but the fish are also taking interest in the pieces of fish as well. And there goes Scales, he got it. So that's literally all I do. I'll throw in some on this side over here so that everybody gets a good amount of fish. And now these turtles have been fed. And if you look closely right there, that is our painted turtle, Precious. He is looking for food, but it's on the other side of you, buddy. Go get your food. Now, Jar Jar, our soft-shelled turtle, buries in the sand, so he'll come out and eat food some random time when I'm not out here, because he is super hard to find, and he's just buried somewhere in the sand. Well, now that, as you guys can see, they're eating and they're happy, we're going to move down to Gamera way over there and give him some fish. Oh, Gamera, I've got some fish for you, buddy. Now, I assure you all that Gamera is in this pond. It's super green, so it's hard to see, but what I'll do is I'll just take these chunks and literally toss him in the water, and then Gamera will go around and he'll find him, and then he'll eat them and have himself some nice food. Alrighty, y'all, well, last but most certainly not least, we've got to feed the turtles in our pond. Now, unfortunately, most of the turtles are underground. So what I'm going to do is take about half those pieces and throw them in the ponds so that when the turtles come out here, they will find them in the ponds. And then the other half, I'm going to throw towards their burrow on the other side of this palm tree. That way, once those pieces are over there, they can eat those pieces. That'll lure them out to get in the ponds, and then they'll eat the pieces of fish in the ponds. Now here is one of our red-eared sliders. Let's see if he's going to want to eat for us, buddy. You hungry? No? I take that as a no. We will throw that in there and he'll go and find it. We'll take these pieces here, boom, boom, and then we're gonna throw some chunks over to the other side of the pond over there. Well, I have thrown a whole bunch of chunks down there because of course there's the one red-eared slider, but then there's also another red-eared slider and an African side neck that are tucked way down in that burrow, so they will be eating those pieces down there. But with that being said, all of our pond turtles have been fed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is basically all the animals being fed. Now, I just wanted to say I am so sorry for some of the animals that did not eat on camera. Now, for example, our turtles and tortoises that are outside just won't be as quick to eat because it's been so cold outside. And since it's been so cold outside, their metabolisms have slowed down and they're just not as hungry. Now, I was going to wait until next spring to do this video, but you guys just absolutely wanted me to do this video so bad, so I couldn't deny it anymore, and I went ahead and did this video. So if you don't like this video, it's kind of your fault, just saying. So anyhow, we're going to go inside to the reptile room where we conclude this video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was a complete feeding of every single animal we have in this reptile room. Now, what did you guys think of today's video? If you enjoyed it, go ahead and drop a like on today's video. It lets me know if it was worth your time watching and if I should do more videos like it. Now, once you have liked this video, I'm going to need you guys to go follow my Instagram, TheRealPyroToadYT. It is always linked in the description, and you get exclusive content and exclusive updates when you follow my Instagram. Now, last but most certainly not least, I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and subscribe. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers, and I've got some big things planned for this channel, so please just go ahead, subscribe. It's free, and you won't regret it. Like, if you want to see more of that little cutie, you gotta subscribe. So make sure to subscribe if you want to see more of this insane reptile room. Well, with that being said, everybody here has been fed, every single animal in this reptile room. And of course, with all of that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!